Hello, viewers. Welcome to this platform again. Once again, this is Rich Mind Platforms. My name is Shegun Okedoyin. Here today, I'll be talking to you on how do you see losses. How do you see losses? Yes. Someone said sometimes you lose, sometimes you gain. Another person says sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So definitely, the word learn when you don't win means that you lose. So your loss at times is addressed to be a learning period, or you have to learn something. You have to learn through your losses. So what I want to emphasize today is that losses at times are not total loss. Let me read this quote to you. It said, a loss sometimes are not really a loss, but a lesson to be learned and unlearned. It said, losses at times are not total loss, but a lesson to be learned and unlearned. Now, the way you view things determines how you see it. The way you view things determines how you see it. Now, these are the perspectives I want to highlight for us to begin to see losses, and from then we can definitely learn or gain from it. Yes, number one point I want to push across is that you learn that losses are a fact of life you have to deal with. Losses are facts of life that we have to deal with. That is, it is something that are unavoidable. You can't always win. To lose is part of life that we have to deal with. And once this is established, we begin to see it that it is not a dead end. It is not what? It is not a dead end. Somebody put it. He said, when you realize change in life is something we can't escape, then we learn how to deal with it in a positive way. Else, when you don't accept this, the next change or losses affects you more. He said change in life is something that we have to deal with. The change we are putting there is that when you lose, it's like the game has changed. The game changed. The game changed. So it's something that change is inevitable. Change could come like a loss. You have always done something in a particular way, but it came this time around. Losses are facts of life you have to deal with. You have to lose at times. Once you establish that in your mind, you'll be able to deal with losses in a more positive way than rather agonizing yourself over it. When something else comes in that same manner, it will not affect you as much as it does in the first time. Second thing you have to take out, you begin to see loss is that you learn that grief in a normal feeling is a normal feeling. When you lost a family member or friend, you might think you are only grieving when someone dies. He said grieving, loss is part of grieving. Grieving is part of loss. Don't forget where we are driving from is that how do you see losses? He said grieving, you learn that grief is a normal feeling. When you lost a family member or friend, you might think you are only grief when someone dies. When you lost a friend, grief is part of loss. And we're told that it's one of the normal feelings. We are allowed to have a grief. That is, maybe when you lost something that is so dear to you, you grieve over it. We're told that it is a normal thing you have to go through. You can't be happy always, and you don't want to have any sorrow to yourself. It is a normal feeling. So it's like a loss as well. You have to see that this is one of the normal things. When you lose a relationship, when you lose a friend, or when you lose a family friend, it is not because it is out of place. It's one of those things that happens in life. So begin to see losses at times, not just as a negative things, but begin to see that these are parts of life. These are parts of life. Lastly, I want to put across to you that you learn that God can turn each losses into a gain. It is possible that a painful situation will take you somewhere better. Losses you experience at times is a stepping stone. God will want to use it to take you to another ground. He said, though the weeping may endure for the night, he said, joy cometh in the morning. Weeping is part of losses. But God has a place that is taking you to, even through that pain, through that losses, through that what? Through that losses. There are 3 questions I want to pose to you, and I begin to change your perspective on how to see loss. Number 1 question is that, do you depend too much on that one friend? Some of us, we are too dependent. And that is why when we experience any loss, we begin to feel otherwise. Do you depend too much on that one friend? The second question I want to pose to you is that, have you been looking to that person to meet needs only God can meet? Have you been looking up to a particular person, a particular brother, your dad, your relatives, your boss in the office, to meet that need that only God can meet? Then you begin to see losses as a negative thing. You begin to see losses as a what? As a negative thing. The third question I'll pose to you is that, is there someone new that you need to reach out to? Honestly, the loss that you're thinking you're having, you might just need to reach out to a new friend to make you good. Is there someone new that you need to reach out to? Putting all these things in place, you begin to see losses in a new dimension. Subscribe to this channel and we'll continue to inspire ourselves. Thank you very much.